So, caffeine. Don't mind if I do. So caffeine. So you know when you wake up real early in the morning and you're like, man, I need a cup of coffee to wake me up. People are like, coffee? Like what's in coffee to wake you up? It's caffeine. The more you know. So I'm gonna try not to bore you, but in this video I'm gonna tell you some facts about caffeine. So let's get started. Caffeine in plants acts as a pesticide and an herbicide. So the caffeine in those plants actually acts as a pesticide and helps ward off any insects that may get on the plant. And caffeine is also a natural herbicide that gets released into soil so that weeds can't grow near coffee or tea shrubs. And caffeine can build up so much in the soil to the point where the coffee plant themselves actually suffer. Caffeine can also exaggerate the effects of stress.
Catch some special pictures?
This is actually for chemistry class.
Oh!
Yeah, I'm doing it on caffeine.
Oh, caffeine.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Caffeine amplifies the stress response in the body, which actually increases blood pressure and heart rate, as well as the production of your stress hormones, which causes an exaggeration of stress. Caffeine doesn't only affect the way a person's body responds to stress, but also the mind by magnifying the individual's perception of stress. An exaggeration stress response actually causes you to have high blood pressure and sometimes can cause you to have type 2 diabetes. So don't drink caffeine a whole lot. Coffee beans come from a red fruit. Coffee comes from shrubs known as coffee cherries, and it produces like a red berry when ripe, which is really cool, just so that you know. Coffee actually has to be hand-picked by the farmer because it actually doesn't all mature at the same time, so you have to pick the ones that are ripe and not the ones that aren't ripe, because you have to wait for them to be ripe. You feel? Before the beans were actually used to make coffee, they were actually used in making wine. But in like 1000 AD, they actually started putting that in coffee and producing caffeine in coffee. Then there were two monks, and the two monks were like, yo, let's try these berries. So they run over to the coffee bushes and they grab these berries, and they grab a bunch of them, and they actually went that night and started eating a bunch of them, and it caused them to have a reaction that made them very alert and very aware of the surroundings, kind of like a drug, which caffeine is a drug. So that's just really interesting that two monks just decided to do that and found out that it made them more alert. So that's what caffeine does to you. Caffeine can be found in unusual places. People can now actually purchase caffeine-infused bottled water, jelly beans, breath mints, peanut butter, and chewing gum. There are actually also caffeine-infused bath soaps that help people wake up and energize, supposedly. Like as they scrub their body. Well, I'm so awake now. Although caffeine can be absorbed through the skin, it is doubted that it can actually help alert you and wake you up, if that makes sense. Caffeine has also been added into shampoo to prevent hair loss, but there is no good evidence that can support this. So the beauty industry has obviously jumped on this caffeine bandwagon and is trying to trick you into thinking that, oh, if you wash your body with this kind of body wash, you're gonna be awake, and if you use this kind of caffeine infused shampoo, you're gonna stop losing hair. Like, this is false. Let me just tell you, if you're using this is false. I'm sorry to break it to you. Caffeine has also been added into pain relievers like Excedrin because it is known to relieve pain faster, which is really interesting. College and high school students actually have been drinking this pill called Caffeine AIDS, and it is known to wake you up more in the night, so you can try it. Alertness AIDS, not caffeine AIDS. I'm sorry. Caffeine has also been known to help you lose weight. So if you're wanting to lose weight, and just drink some caffeine, it'll help you. Caffeine resembles a brain chemical. Caffeine has a similar molecular structure in a neurotransmitter in your brain, and the caffeine can actually bind to some of those brain cells. which is cool. People aren't truly addicted to caffeine. It's not possible. Some people are like, oh man, I need to have my coffee today. Like if I don't, I'm gonna freak out. Like maybe you will freak out, but you can't actually truly be addicted to caffeine. People who consume it every day are likely to be dependent on the drug, but you can't actually be addicted, like I said. Caffeine actually does produce symptoms of dependence, but like I said, not addictive. Caffeine use is obviously socially acceptable because people consume it every day and in the public, not like in the private, like shooting it up, you know, it says caffeine. So, not addictive. But, with that being said, caffeine withdrawal is a real condition. For example, withdrawal side effects include throbbing headache, fatigue, irritability, depressed mood, and difficulty concentrating. And these effects actually start 12 to 24 hours with not having your caffeine. People who regularly consume caffeine tend to wake up with a caffeine withdrawal, but they may not think of it that way. They may just think of it as grumpiness in the morning, or fuzziness, or just grumpiness. But the truth is, these are actually signs of caffeine withdrawal. Caffeine stays in the body for hours. Caffeine is actually absorbed into your blood and tissues within 45 minutes of being consumed. But it does take much longer for the body to actually break it down. It typically takes about 4 hours for your body to be able to break it down completely. But that does not mean that caffeine is gone after 8 hours of being consumed. In fact, it is actually there for 12 hours before it has completely left your system. But that is not for everyone. People who smoke will actually only have 9 hours with caffeine in their system. Pregnancy can extend caffeine's half-life even more, lengthening it to 10.5 hours within the final 4 weeks of your pregnancy. The reason people feel this grogginess and this yucky caffeine withdrawal in the morning is actually from their coffee yesterday, because it stays in your body for a long time. And lastly, death from too much caffeine is rare, but possible. In rare instances, when caffeine is consumed at high doses, it can kill. But when I say high doses, I'm talking high doses. I'm talking 30 to 50 cups of coffee a day, that will kill you. That is too much caffeine for your body to handle. But deaths have actually been reported from drinking too much caffeine. Similar to weight loss pills. If you drink too many of those, you're trying to lose weight real quick, it ain't gonna happen, you just gonna die. In 2014, 2 young men at the ages of 18 and 24 actually died from having too much caffeine, so chill. So anyway, relax on the caffeine. Don't have 30 to 50 cups a day or else you'll die, but caffeine is fine once in a while. You will have withdrawals if you have it daily, so also be aware of that. But with that being said, this is the end of my video. I hope you enjoyed it. So anyway, take care.
What are you taking the picture of?
So this is a video I'm doing about caffeine.
Caffeine.
Yeah, so I have a Red Bull right here. It's like my prop.
Oh.
Molly, is that her name?
Most dogs are named Molly. Have a good evening.
Hey, you too. Hello.
What are you doing?
I'm filming a video for chemistry class about caffeine.
Oh, really?
That's why I have a Red Bull.
Cool.
Yeah. How are you liking that?
I love it.
That's so fun.
It's fun.
I bet you're so excited to have it out now because it's sunny.
Yeah, I know. I was really excited today. I was like, I'm just kind of riding it around. Nowhere in particular, but
That's
it's
so
fun.
awesome. I want one so bad. All
Good
right.
luck with your video.
Thank you. Have a good one. Do you also accidentally just like combine the D and the B in Red Bull together to say Red Bull instead of Red Bull? Red Bull. Red Bull. Caffeine also makes you burp.
What are you filming here?
I'm filming for chemistry class.
Okay.
I'm filming about caffeine.
Go finger.
Yeah.
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 Next
10.5 hours during. This video is not sponsored by Red Bull, although it should be. So Red Bull, if you're watching, sponsor me. Yeah. It's all gone. Red Bull gives you wings, know what I'm saying? So many wings I could fly.